Hey, everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, y'all. Yeah, I got some energy now, y'all. I just came back from spring break. Yeah, I know we had our spring break late. And I'm sorry. For those of you that don't know who I am Deborah Franklin. I'm sorry, Dr. Deborah Franklin. I'm an author, speaker, and coach, but most of all, I just love helping people to tell their stories and to develop them into multiple streams of income. But what I really like to do is showing you how to take those next steps. Some of you are in two places right now, and I want to deal with the first one. Some of y'all have a book that you've written, and it's sitting on the shelf, and it's collecting dust. And I'm like, you probably looking at that book talking about, I had great plans for this book. This book was going to be all that and a bag of chips. And then next thing you know, that book is still there. You sold that first 50 books and it's still on the shelf. And you wondering like, Lord, what was I doing? But one thing that I want you to know is that there is life to breathe back into this book. You can set this book back up to, because what you wrote in it was very important. What the story that you were telling was very important. The information that you were trying to get out and you were trying to convey was very important, but you lost your momentum. And have I been there? Absolutely. Because I have a couple books that I'm going to have to do that I'm going to have to just start back and get back out there, because it's just y'all hold on, something is coming through. I want to and so you just been sitting on this book. And one thing that I want to tell you is that one thing that you need to do is you need to go back. I'm going to give you a tip today about what you need to do. Because some of you need to go back and read the book again. I mean, something just that simple. You need to go back and read that book and think about why did you write it? Why did you write the book? And start to think about what was that inspiration about getting that book out? What was your inspiration about even putting it into print? What was that inspiration? What made you do what you do when you did it? I mean, that's like real serious, because when you start to think about that, then you're able to move to that next level of reigniting that fire in you about your own book. Hey, Amy. I'm so glad. Yeah, you got about 3 books that you've already written, and it's time for you to start jumpstarting that as well. Now, I'm going to use Amy because Amy's here, and I know Amy. Amy has, I think, 3 books now. I think it's 3. And she also sells jewelry. But one thing I noticed she's forgetting is to take her books with her when she's selling them. She can also, so I'm giving you a tip for everybody. If you have other products, you could start selling books. You can start selling books with your products, and you with that. So she sells jewelry. She can make a basket up where she could put her book and the jewelry for a set price, and people would buy that because they want to read the book, they want to get to know her as a person, and they want to see what she's talking about. Because not only will she make you sparkle and shine, she's going to give you some other advice to go around with it. Congratulations, the first book sold out. Hey. And yeah, okay, that's what I thought. You got 3 now. So at the end of the day, one thing that you have to start realizing and looking at when you have a book that's not doing what you wanted to do, what can you do to reactivate it? What can you do to put a little more shine on it? What can you do to help that book go to where it needs to go? Because originally, when you wrote that book, I know my first book, I wrote it for myself. I'm just going to be honest. I wrote it for myself. I felt like that was my way of healing. That was my way of making it to the next level. That was my way of just sharing my story. Never in a million years did I even think about selling the book. I'm just going to be honest. And then when I did realize I was going to sell it, I didn't even know how much to sell the book for. So some of you need to grab hold to your why. Why did you write this book? What did you want the world to know? Because you now it's like now it's time out for thinking small. Everybody's thinking global. Everybody's thinking international. Everybody is thinking past their neighborhood. And when we think past our neighborhood, then we start to think about those ideas. And I was sharing with somebody, even when I go to speak, I make sure that I have my products with me. And it doesn't matter whether it's a collaboration project or an anthology that some people like to call them, or a book that I wrote by myself. I have at least 2 to 3 different books on that table, at least. And when I do that, I'm going to sell probably all 3, because I might put, here I go, a bundle, because I don't have any other products yet. So my products are my books or my speaking engagements or booking me to speak, booking me to do a workshop. So all of those are, to me, speaking and doing those things are intangible. But my book gives them something tangible to take with them. And that's what you got to start thinking about. But the biggest thing that I want you to really grab hold to tonight is, what inspired me to want to write the book in the first place? That's major. When you know that, then you're able to go back and set aside those things that you need to move forward in relaunching that book, or like what I'm calling this now, blowing new life, blowing the dust off of it and blowing new life. Now, you might be saying, Deborah, that sounds good and dandy, but what am I to do? How do I do that? I'm so glad you asked. I want you to be on the lookout, because Wednesday I'm going to drop how you going to answer that, how I'm going to answer that question. Wednesday, we're making a big announcement of how you're going to blow the dust off of that book and catapult it to another level. So Wednesday, for those of you that know, y'all know when I look this way and I'm pointing, I'm looking at my calendar. So Wednesday, April 16th, we got a big announcement on how you're going to blow the dust off of that book that's on the shelf. So get ready, y'all. Wednesday, big announcement. Wednesday, we dropping the information Wednesday. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. My shirt says, if my mouth doesn't say it, which you never really want my mouth to say a lot of stuff, my face definitely will. And that is so true, y'all. My face gets me in so much trouble. How many of y'all like that? If you like that, drop a 1 in the comments. If your face gets you in trouble, drop the 1 in the comments so I know I'm not alone. But one thing about it, we got a major announcement on Wednesday. Wednesday is our major announcement. Now, I said there was 2 different people that are going to be watching this live. And the other one is, you got a story and you got to get it out. And you've been trying to figure out, how in the ham sandwich am I getting ready to do this? How in the whole world am I going to be able to get this done and get it done and get it done right? I'm so glad you asked. Y'all, I'm getting ready to do something that I have not done in a very long time. I have not had a product at this price point, probably never. And I wanted to share with you guys, because some of you are on the cusp that if you just get that one little jump start, if you could just start some type of routine, you would get the book written. You would get your book done like in at least 30, 45 days. You know you can get that book done. But you just need that jump start. You just need to and so this is for my faith walkers. This is for my faith walkers. This is for my people that believe that prayer is the answer to everything. I have a solution for, and it's called I Got a Story and I Got to Get It Out. 21 days, 21 minutes of telling your story. And I know that may sound familiar for those of you that have been working with me, have been on this journey with me, and you've done the 21-day prayer challenge, you've done the uh 21 days, and talking about the Lydia anointing. You have been with me and have journeyed with me in some areas. But today I want to talk about those that are ready to write your book. You just need to know where to start it. And I want you to go to tinyurl.com. I got a story. And y'all, it's only $15.97. $15.97. Those that know me know I ain't never done anything. Y'all, this workbook is phenomenal, if I got to say so myself. It has prayer prompts. It has pretty much everything that you need to get started. I'll even put it in the chat, put the link in the chat, because anything that you need is right in that workbook. It'll take you step by step on how to get your ideas out. You're going to figure out, these are some major steps, because a lot of times people don't think about it. One of the major steps that you have to do, and a lot of times you miss it, is that you got to know your why. And it has to be beyond, your why has to be beyond, how can I say that? Beyond making money. Your why has to be more than excuse me, more than being an Amazon bestseller, being a New York Times bestseller. Your why has to be more than that. Not saying that those aren't good reasons, but your why has to be more. Because when you start to think about what lives you're trying to change, when you start to think about who are you trying to entertain, or what smile are they gonna what smile are you gonna put on their face? Now, for me, on the book that I'm working on right now, y'all, I can't wait to drop this one. I'm so excited. I'm about to scream. I am working on my first fiction novel. You heard me. Yeah, Deborah Franklin, your girl, getting ready to drop a novel, but it's coming later. But some of you are trying to figure out, and I promise you, if I had this, I probably would be done by now. This is something that I use with my clients, and to help them jumpstart their writing, to figure out what they're doing, to get their thoughts organized, and how to get that first step. Because sometimes you just need to take that first step. And then it helps you decide, am I going to write this myself, or am I going to get a ghostwriter? But I'm going to leave that right there. But for those of you that are ready to tell your story, in other words, you saying to yourself, I got a story and I got to get it out, you need to go to this tiny URL. I got a story, and y'all, again, $15.97, and get that workbook. This workbook is something that will take you over the course of 21 days. 21 days. 21 days to get your whole self together when you're ready to write this book. I want you to get this today. And I just want to know, I know that you have it in you. I know that it's time for that story to be told. I know it's time for you to take your writing and take your story to the next level. I know it's time for you to step out on faith and do the doggone thing. Because I know some of y'all, let me just go ahead and tell you, you keep saying, oh, somebody gonna tell my story already. It don't matter. Can't nobody tell your story like you can tell your story. I tell anybody, let them lie all day long, because can't nobody talk about me better than me. And that's what you have to realize. Nobody can talk about you and be you better than you. So today, go ahead, use that link, click on it. It's in the comments. Click on that link, and I want you to download I Got a Story and I Got to Get It Out. 21 days, y'all. 21 days. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? 21. I said 21 days. Oh, yeah. $15.97. 21 days, $15.97. Get your jumpstart writing your book and showing what you have to do to go to that next level. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed, because some of y'all have been sitting on the fence way too long. You've been holding on to this story way too long. And I'm going to tell you, I heard this morning. Y'all, stop letting people down. because you haven't said what you needed to say. Somebody needs to hear your voice. Remember, the sheep need to hear the voice of their shepherd. And the people that need to hear your story are waiting to hear it, because your story is what's going to help them go to that next level. Well, all right, guys, I love you to life. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all have a good rest of your evening, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.